Ladies and squirrels, tonight we bring you fun in the basement. Tonight we will be covering my homemade aquaponics system and all of the components thereof, including the deep water culture tank, the fish, the filter, and the lights. Here we have a 55-gallon aquarium, which I was able to acquire off of Facebook with the stand for about $25. As you can see, I have two pumps. They are 163 GPH, so I can cycle the entire system. That is about, let's say 112-ish gallons, 1.5 per hour. On the bottom here you see this PVC. That is a jet system which helps keep solids from building up on the bottom since I don't have any substrate. All of these pipes on the longest linear parts, they blow interior, and these short cross pieces that you see at the far end and in the middle, those all shoot back towards this main ejector pump. I have approximately 15 goldfish, comet goldfish specifically, in the system now, and it seems to be working okay so far. Out here, this is just a spare air stone that I use for let's call it boiling the water. Here we have 3 5-gallon buckets which comprise the filtration system. I would say in hindsight the only thing I would add and or do differently is I would put either a union or some sort of easily detachable coupling or something like that in here, maybe a rubber gasket with the hose clamps, just so I could isolate these buckets and take them apart and break them down if I need to. We'll start with this first bucket. So this water comes up obviously from the tank. This is a single loop system. This is my existing clean out, which I am going to do a little work to in the near future. At a ball valve, maybe do a little bit of work so I could easily access it. Right now I just turn it down and that helps me drain out the system. In here I have a radial flow settler, which has been working fairly well to pick up the solids, as you can see in there. I can adjust the height in this tank so it could be a little bit lower. However, I found that when it was lower, it wasn't collecting as many solids. I'll show you how I regulate that height in these first two buckets. The magic is right there. So this is a 2-inch 45 with a cap. Couple holes drilled in there. I also have, even though you can't see it in here, there is the other pipe that is the inlet for this bucket that has another cap with holes drilled in it as to keep the bioballs in the filter. I have 500 bioballs in here, and as you can see here from the dollar store, it's just a surface material for the positive bacteria. I do have a air stone in here. You can see it bubbling pretty well. I think the bucket's a little too small to really have that rolling boiling effect that a lot of guys have in their store purchased bioreactor filters, but I'm just doing what I can on a budget, right? Aren't we all? I will say the whole system all in, speaking of budget, cost me about $350. And in this last filter I have a water clarifier, which clearly is doing a pretty good job on getting a lot of those fine sediments out. It also doubles as a secondary biofilter. I have some more filter floss down there. This stand tube I could lower and raise. I choose to keep it at this height. I do every now and then come back and drain this bucket completely as to avoid any water stagnating in this, lower half. As with the pipe at that height, clearly there's not a incredible amount of flow and or mixture through there, so I do make it a point to try to do that once a week. So now we'll just do a quick overview of the lighting. I do have two lights. They're on a pulley system, which goes through the drop ceiling down here in the basement. I just tied off to these very conveniently placed shelves because, they're there. This is set on a timer. It runs about 12 hours on, 12 hours off, as with the fan. But now we'll get to the part you've all been waiting for. Here is where, I won't say the magic happens because there's a lot of trial and error going on right now, but I'll show you what I got. I have a lot of propagations in here. I have some basil, rosemary, gojo berries, a couple other yard plants, roses, etc. I do have that little sprout right there. That is, I believe that is a mulberry seed that took. Hopefully that survives. I have a couple different setups I'm doing with the basil, seeing what sprouts. So far, no luck. The chives, same thing. I think what's happening is, since I'm planting directly into the hydroton, I think I'm getting a lot of seeds that are just going right through. This is my rocket arugula. These three here. This is my cucumber, which I'm kind of excited. I hope it'll fruit, because I know I might not have enough food intake in this system to support it fruiting. But when it does start getting a little bit bigger, I will go ahead and add to the wall here some sort of mesh 2x4s, just so I could have it grow along the wall, because I want to have plants growing on the wall, because why not? It's my house, right? I do have some black seeded Simpson lettuce here. Only 2 of the 4 sprouted. This one, it's looking a little leggy. This one's looking a little bit better. I've yet to have one really succeed. I have a smaller aquaponics kit that I purchased. Well, I didn't purchase it. It was gifted to me. And from there I made this. So you could see there's quite a big leap. So I have a lot to learn, and I'm really excited to learn with you guys. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Hit me down in the comments. Throw a like, a subscribe, and we'll see what we can do in the future. Many more aquaponics videos, and a whole lot more to come. You guys have a good one.